Brown again. So as I said in an earlier video, I'll show you how to simplify expressions using multiplication and division. So when you're given a question like this in multiplication, 3x times 4x times 5. For simplifying expressions, you always do one thing when you're multiplying. You focus on each component. So that's one thing you do. So numbers will work together and variables will work together. So in this case, to multiply this, you focus on your numbers first. So it's 3 times 4 times 5. So 3 4 is 12. 12 times 5, that's 60. So you'll write your number first, or your product for the number first. Now, x times x, that is x squared. You don't have any variable over here, so you'll just leave it, so you'll stop there and put your x squared. If there's another variable in the question, you will just simply write it afterwards because it's different and you wouldn't add it up. Meaning, for example, say this was 3x squared, 3x times 4x times 5y. What you just do, after you work out the numbers, you work out the x's, because there's a y, you just put it on for your final answer. So that's all you do when you're multiplying expressions in order to make them simplified or condensed. Here's another question. X squared times 4x. 8x squared times 4x. So 8 times 4, you work out that number part. So 8 4 is 32. Then you look at these. So this is x squared multiplied by x. Now when you are multiplying variables that are the same, what you can do is, whatever the powers are, you just add them together. So if you don't see a number above a variable, it means that the power is 1. So this would be saying that this is x to the first power, and this is x squared. So you just add the powers of the x's and you write it back. So x squared plus and x to the first, so it's 2 plus 1, so that gives you x cubed. So once you are working on x variables and they are the same, whatever the power is, you just add them together when you are multiplying and you'll be able to get your answer. Now the rules of division are basically the same thing as well. So you would focus on the numbers by dividing those. So it's 12 divided by 12x squared divided by 4x. What you do, divide the numbers. So 12 divided by 4, that's 3. Then you focus on your indices or your variables and your indexes. So whatever the power is for the index, the biggest one, you will subtract the others from it. So as I said earlier, down here, when you see a variable without a power, its index is 1. So when you're dividing, what you do, you just simply subtract. So this is x squared, so it's 2 minus 1. And 2 minus 1 gives you 1, so you can just simply write back your x. So 12x squared divided by 4x gives you 3x. Now, what about this one? 100x divided by 25. Now you realize this doesn't have a variable, but this has one. The principle remains the same. Divide the number by the number. So 100 divided by 25, that gives you 4. And because there's an x and there's nothing here, you'll just simply write back your x. So 100x divided by 25 will give you 4x. And remember, whatsoever your answer is, you can just simply apply the concepts that you would have learned about multiplying and work it out back. So whatever you use to divide, you will multiply by your answer. So if you multiply 25 by 4x, you are supposed to get this number. So 4x times 25 gives you 100x. 4x multiplied by 3x will give you 12x squared, based on the rules that you would have learned over here, where 3, you would focus on the numbers, so 3 times 4 gives you 12. And then you work out x times x, that gives you x squared. So these rules work basically hand in hand So you can always express or simplify an expression using these rules. So focus on the number. So if it's multiply, you multiply the numbers. If it's divide, you divide the numbers. And then the second thing you do, focus on each variable as they are. So if it's the variables are the same, you'll add a power upwards, and if the variables are different, you'll write them separately. So that's all you do when you're simplifying expressions using multiplication and division. So thanks for watching, and tune in again with Mr. Brown while I explain other mathematical concepts.